Good evening, friends, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome to my face. As you can see, I'm in a completely different room to my normal bedroom with my normal background. I am actually in my company's music studio, recording studio. We have two studios downstairs and we have this one. So I'm trying it out, I'm seeing how it goes, I'm seeing what it sounds like, I'm seeing how it feels, and then if I fucks with it, then I will do more videos here. Personally, I really love it. Like, I love the flowers, I love the plants, I love the background. Like, I feel like it's really doing up YouTuber. So I thought, fuck it, let's do a video here, let me see how it is. It's actually quite echoey in comparison to my like bedroom, so I might need to like put on a mic or something. If it's too distracting, just let me know. Anyways, back to the vid. So this video is going to be a it's a rant. It's kind of a rant. We're back with the rants again, guys. But it's a discussion, kind of, basically a dear industry instead of a dear drama school this time. It's a dear industry because there has been a lot of news and coverage around like certain situations that have been going down in the creative arts industry, and I want fucks with it. So I'm just here to talk about a bit about it, my opinions on it and my thoughts and feelings, what I think we could do as a community to get this shit patterned. Anyway, let's get to it.
Every time I take a draw, that's a mind out. Done it all time, play with since lights out. I'm just trying to make peace.
Sorry, are you paying me? Obviously, following our, you know, Dear Drama Schools part 1 and 2. I'm now, obviously, I've left drama school and I'm now in the industry, so to speak. So I've been meaning to have this kind of conversation, just talking about kind of like my findings being in the industry and coming into contact with various different other creatives in other fields, you know, photography, videography and stuff like that. And especially running the studio, like, you get a lot of different kinds of people, which is, yeah, it's kind of sick. I've been in contact with a lot of different creatives and hearing a lot of different stories and a lot of different experiences, and obviously in light of the situation that's happened with Noel Clarke. To be fair, I never really even liked the man. Like, I tell everybody this story, but I remember going to a Q&A situation when I was still in drama school, and I remember going to this Q&A thing because, you know, obviously networking. So I remember going there and somebody asked him why does he not use drama school students in his films, and you know, he was like, oh, I just feel like they lose their authenticity because they're trained and they get, you know, like molded by the, you know, these people and things like that. And for the first part, like for the most part, I agreed. I was like, at the end of the day, like, it's your artistic direction, it's depending on what you want from your actors and what you want from your show, so I can't really chat, you know what I mean? But anyway, after that now, the guy was like, yeah, but how would you know that? Like, how would you know that they've lost their authenticity if you don't even let them kind of go to auditions and stuff? And he was explaining that he wants to give opportunity to people that aren't fortunate enough to go to drama school. And again, I understand that. But then the guy was kind of like questioning him in the sense that, like, but as like he self-proclaimed black person that we as young people should look up to in the industry, going to drama school should not necessarily be demonized. And it's like, our white counterparts don't want us, our black counterparts now don't want us, like, what are we supposed to do? And he was just like, well, that's not my problem. And I was like, okay, right, okay, fine, but if you're gonna be a self-proclaimed, you know, person, if you want to be that kind of person and you've proclaimed yourself as that person, then own up to it, like, and expect to get that kind of backlash. But anyway, I just think that attitude that he was giving, and he came across as very arrogant, and I personally don't like that kind of behaviour. Like, he came across like he's better than everyone else, and really and truly, like, the films I've seen of yours are all trash, so that's that on that. But apart from that, I think that this kind of a big reason, obviously one of the main reasons why this has happened is because Noel Clarke has done it, but Do you know what I mean? Like, he's actually done the acts of what people have said he's done, so that's why it's happened, and he should take accountability for that. But also, I feel like the industry itself creates an environment where it makes this kind of stuff acceptable, and I believe this happens as early as drama school, or as early as, yeah, training, like early drama school training, or even drama in high school, secondary school. I feel like the industry itself creates this environment which welcomes and almost encourages this kind of behavior, and we see it in media, we see it in books, we see it in real life, and we hear it and we learn about it. You know, we have movements, we have campaigns against it, but yet still this still happens because we have this in the industry. Now, I've made I'm going to go into a few ideas of which this is seen within our industry. One thing that really pisses me off, I had to get the second hand out. What pisses me off about the industry is that we have this culture where you have to accept rudeness and disrespect because that person is either your director or your producer, and they could talk to you any which way, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are paying you. And I feel like that idea and that trope needs to be cancelled. Like, cancel culture, you see your cancel culture, cancel that. Because at the end of the day, like, why should I, as an actor, accept the way yours, or even as a director, accept the way you're speaking to me because you're the one that's paying me? And, you know, we see this in many different fields as well. We see this in the workplace, we see this in all kinds of fields, we see this in the NHS, doctors and nurses. Like, we see this power trip that people have, that when they're in some sort of position of power, they feel like they can talk to people any which way. But you see it a lot in the creative arts industry, where people feel like, oh, because I'm the director, what I say goes. Because I'm the producer and I'm paying you, you have to literally take my bullshit, take my bullying, take the way I speak to you any which way. And I think that is so wrong, because at the end of the day, it takes everybody to make that production. It takes the actors, it takes the producers, it takes the directors, it takes the stagehands, it takes the lighting, the sound, the costume, the makeup. It takes all of these different people to create any production. So we are just as important as each other, and just because you manage the budget doesn't necessarily mean that you could talk to me any which way. And the culture where actors are just supposed to be seen and not heard, like they're supposed to just, yeah, you do this, you be here at this time and you go and do that, and just accept the way, any which way people could talk to you. I personally think that it's not fair, and I feel like it's something that we should not normalize. I think it's wrong, you know. I genuinely think that, and that kind of starts from that kind of behavior is what encourages people like Noel Clarke and Harvey Weinstein and everyone else that is doing up nasty to do what they're doing, because they are in that position of power, and they can talk to people and do to people whatever they want. And as the subordinates, or people who are perceived as lower than them, have to just accept it in fear of them being blacklisted, or in fear of them losing their job. And at the end of the day, the creative arts industry is already hard and it's really difficult. So if you are in a position where you feel like you cannot actually say no, in fear of losing your job, potentially not paying your bills, then you're just going to accept it. But if we just get rid of that culture of I'm the producer, what I say goes, and actually just appreciate that everybody is there to do a job, talk to people like they're flipping human beings instead of animals, or not even animals, talking to people like they're not even human and they don't have feelings, then I feel like this will be a step towards changing that behavior. You know what I mean? Another thing that really F's me off is this age equals knowledge business. All of these people, these old flipping middle-aged white men, sometimes women, you know, I'm not gonna say names, but all of these older people who say, oh yeah, my knowledge, my age is my knowledge, you know, I know what I'm talking about, all you new people are coming in, and you know, you don't know what it's like in the industry, like you don't have the, you know what I mean, like you don't have the experience to be talking about this shit and that and that. The industry the creative arts industry is all about humans. It's all about the times. It's all about what is going on here and now. So because it is so human-centered, it's going to be ever-changing. It's going to be something new. So yes, your age and your experience and your knowledge is useful, but also my young and fresh and new eyes on your existing industry is also very useful, because we're catering to a lot of audiences here. We're catering to a lot of different people, and media and the arts industry is literally made up of people. It's to reflect life, it's to reflect human life, it's to reflect what is going on now in the here and now. Sometimes we look at, you know, back then and things like that, but for the most part it's to reflect human life, which means that it needs to be diverse in age, in accessibility, in sexuality, in all kinds of fields. It needs to be diverse because it is a representation of this planet. When you create art, it's a representation of all the different aspects of life and this planet and this world, in this solar system, in this universe. So we need representation from all these different fields to create that realistic standpoint and to be able to explore new and different stories with these different groups and with these different voices and you know, names and things like that. But I really don't like when, you know, people, well, I'm gonna talk for myself. Yeah, I'm gonna talk for myself. I don't like it when people talk down to me because, one, I'm under 25 and I'm a black woman, and I'm not from, didn't go private school and X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? Just because of all of that, they feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, art is life, and life is art. At the end of the day, I'm just telling you my story. I'm just producing my stories on screen, stage, music, whatever capacity it is. So why should you talk down to me and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about when I'm just talking about my experience, or I'm just relaying what I've seen through my eyes? You're relaying what you saw through your eyes, but I'm telling you what I've seen through mine. So how does that mean that you are more knowledgeable than me? In certain cases, yes, I can admit that I may fall short, and your age and your experience is going to help me, and, you know, so and so. But vice versa, you're living in a different time. Your industry is ever changing because it's always bringing in new talent from all different walks of life. So you need to be open to seeing that other types of people are here, and you need to be able to accept it and not demonize them for being younger or for being from a different group to what the industry standard is. What the f is the industry standard? At the end of the day, we are who we are. And like I said, art imitates life. So if we're all from all walks of life, we're all breathing, we are all, our stories and our existence in the industry is all valid. I suppose that segue on. Is that even the term, segue? I suppose that like segues on to the next point that I was going to make about the old boy network, and about how these kind of, because of the traditionalists in the industry, it puts a block on the type of person in which is allowed in. Now I'm seeing nowadays we have a lot more diversity when it comes to casting and things like that. But in terms of the behind the scenes, there's still work that needs to be done. There is nowhere near, or so many stories we have heard about black women on set and on screen who have had to wear like dirty ass wigs. Like, if you watch High School Musical and you see my girl Monique Coleman, like, she had to literally wear a headband because she didn't like the way they did the front of her hair. Kat Graham on Vampire Diaries. Have we seen Sis? Her wigs are trash in comparison to Nina Dobrev's wigs that she was getting for Catherine and Elena. Did you not even know they were wigs? Did you not even know that Elena never actually wore her real hair for a good part of Vampire Diaries? In fact, most of Catherine's hair was a wig. Did you know that? I bet you didn't. Exactly. Literally, they made Nina Dobrev's wig. They made Nina Dobrev's wig so nice. Kat Graham had to wear some dusty ass lace fronts. They did not care. Like, at the end of the day, we do not see we're getting there, but it's not getting there quick enough. And I believe it's not getting there quick enough because of this old boy network. This is who you know kind of business. Because At the end of the day, I even do it. If I know I'm doing a production, I need an actor real quick, I'll be like, oh, Clint, Rihanna, like, I know you lot are gonna be ready, willing to do this. I know how you work. Come link, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have my Hidden Views all-stars, as I call them. Shout out to you lot, you know who you are. But you know what I mean? Who I'll just hit them up like, oh guys, like I have a role for you, like come through. Now to a certain extent, I suppose that is promoting old boy network. But when you see it on a huger scale, like at the end of the day, if I was ever in that position where I had a huge budget to go and find new talent to be in my productions, I would do it. Yeah, I'd still secure my home dogs, but at the same time, I would also create opportunities for other people. I wouldn't just keep it in that. I wouldn't just go to my friends or just to people I know. I would make sure that I'm reaching out and expanding as far as I can. But that is in every capacity, by the way. That is in makeup, that is in hair, that is in all different, you know, lighting, sound, all different new talent that are really good. And the thing is, if it was a case where these people were just bad actors or bad makeup artists or bad, you know, hairstylists, then I'll say, okay, calm, pick your home dog. But there is some seriously good talent, some better than, you know, the pool that we fish in, our comfortable pool, let's call it, that we seem to fish in whenever we need to make a project or stuff. And I think that it's really important that as an industry, we need to get rid of that old boy network and start looking at branching out horizontally. I always say about horizontal networking and how beneficial it is. Literally, having this studio has linked me with so many different companies. Shout out Mactub, shout out Solar Flare, like you guys doing your thing. Do you know what I mean? And also out of that have formed like other companies. KR The Creative, PA, shout out to you. All these other different companies, SOS Function, like all of these different, Team SOS, all of these different companies and these different groups and these different collectives that are kind of within my radius. For me, I'm like, yeah, I'm willing to work with those actors from Mactub. I'm willing to work from those videographers and those directors from Solar Flare. I'm willing to get creative advice and personal management from KR The PA. Like, all of this kind of stuff is all useful. And anybody that comes to me, I'm always, if I'm not able to do it, if Hidden Views isn't able to do it, I'm always passing that on to someone else. I'm always giving that to someone else for someone else to get ahead in life. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're all trying to make it, we're all trying to eat, we're all trying to do well. And if we all network horizontally, then we can all push forward together. And I know I've said this in a video like ages, yonks ago, but it's really important to build those relationships around you, because at the end of the day, when you get up there, you want to be surrounded by the people that were there and supported you from the get-go before you even knew what you wanted to do. Do you know what I mean? So I really feel like that old boy network and that whole attitude and way about it just needs to go, because I feel like it perpetrates that behavior, that kind of old traditional behavior where, you know, we're all kind of all these seedy weird people that will kind of stick within their circle and don't want to actually expand and create diversity for what it really is. One thing that I will say is that I feel like this kind of behavior is born and birthed in drama school. I feel like, and there are tons of stories, and I will probably do a video on this specifically to do with the types of tropes and people that are formed at drama school and enter into the industry. If you want that video, let me know. But the types of people that are formed in drama school because of that behavior and the type of things that people get away with is absolutely disgusting. You know, at the end of the day, I'm paying here to get training. I'm not paying here to strip for my whole class, or I'm not paying here to be overly sexualized or made to feel X, Y, and Z because I don't fit into what you're trying to create with your students. Like, it should be that you're training me to be the best person I am ready for the industry. And I feel like I can't speak, or I can't say certain things, or oh, you can't do that when it comes to the real industry, the real industry, the real industry. What does that even mean? At the end of the day, you should be telling your students no. So you should say no. If somebody's asking you to do something and you feel uncomfortable with it, you should say no. You should go and seek help. There should be HR, there should be a person that is there that you could speak to if you feel uncomfortable. There should be a safeguarding person. I mean, we have people for COVID, but you don't have a safeguarding person when somebody's feeling uncomfortable or feel like they're a victim of harassment or abuse. And I think, or even bullying, and I think that it should be taken seriously and it should be taught in drama school as early as that. Because you let certain things go, you let certain behaviours just become normalised because of how you want to do it. And I think it's just wrong. I think it's just so unfair that so many students, drama school, university in general is one of the first times that they're away from home, and they're being told that, oh, you should allow people to touch you inappropriately just in the name of team building and getting together. I don't want people to be touching me. I don't trust people easily. So on the first week, I'm not going to be wanting you to be touching me up. Like, that's fucking weird. At the end of the day, there should be a line and there should be boundaries, and we should be able to talk about these things safely. But I feel like in drama school, it's just anything goes because we're all in a creative space. Let's all touch each other and all this kind of weird shit. Like, and a lot of things just pass by. A lot of mean things, as per my drama video, my Dear Drama video, have a look. A lot of things are accepted and are normalized because they say, oh, you need to prepare for the industry. No, that's not the industry I want to be a part of. So if that means I have to create my own industry, then fuck it, I will. I feel like a lot of that behavior is literally stemmed from the fact that these people are all traditional, old, do you know what I mean? People who have been in the industry for way too flipping long and are just fucking perverts at the end of the day. Like, there's so much that's happened in drama school, and again, I might actually do a video on this if you guys want, sharing some people anonymously sharing their stories, because a lot of people have come to me about this stuff following my video. And not just, you know, black students, but also students of different races and different and also different genders that have come forward about really uncomfortable experiences that they had felt like they couldn't say no because they're being told that they're never allowed to say no. And I think that when you have things like that and you have people literally training to enter the industry, those abusers are allowed to get away with murder, and they do end up getting away with it when they enter the industry. And then you have these people who feel like they can't say no. They couldn't say no in drama school. Why would they even be able to say no in the industry? And I just think that we need to really circle back and look at what we're trying to teach people and look at what what we want this industry to look like. Because right now it looks like a fucking mess. It needs help. As well as that, we as in media, we show this, you know, the casting couch and the weird kind of tropes like, oh, if you want to be successful, you should be willing to sleep your way to the top. You should be willing to do anything to make it on top. And I think we need to completely eradicate that trope because it's not fair. You know, at the end of the day, people who don't want to do nude scenes are looked at as prude, and it's like, no, I just don't want that for my body, and you need to accept that. Like, as a creative, I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to do it. And it doesn't mean I should be blacklisted. The whole idea of being blacklisted is meant to be for people who are inappropriate and people who are a negative force to the industry, not because you didn't get along with them or not because you just didn't like that they said that they didn't want to strip for you. Like, it should be blacklisted, should be for people who are actually bad people. It should be for people who have done wrong things, i.e. sexual abuse. You know, those are the type of people we should blacklist. We should be blacklisting people because you didn't agree with the fact that they didn't want to date you or they didn't want to do inappropriate things with you on set. And I think that this whole kind of notion of the industry needs to be switched up because it's just not right. And we as people need to, as creatives, young creatives entering the industry and forming the industry, need to make sure that we're putting this in place. We're putting a stamp down and saying, no, this is not what we're about to do. We're not going to continue those negative ideas and those tropes that we see now. I just think that it just starts with us, and it starts with how we are going to form this industry. It starts with how we want this industry to look like. That means diversity, that means inclusivity, that means calling out wrong behavior and calling out misbehavior and saying what it is, calling it what it is. Like, it is sexual harassment, it is sexual abuse. We should be saying it and saying its name, do you know what I mean? And saying it with chest, and say no. If you feel uncomfortable in that position, say no. You know, CK made a tweet about our hidden views and how it's always going to be a safe space, and that is always going to be a safe space. It is always going to be a place where if you feel like you do not feel comfortable with something, you say it, and it always has been that, and call us out on it. At the end of the day, everyone in my company is, you know, we're all different people and we've all got different ideas, and sometimes I will say stuff that's really offensive to a group of people, or maybe one of our other company members will say something that's really offensive, and we have that position where you could say, hey, that's not right, I don't appreciate that, and that's wrong to that group of people, and you shouldn't say that. And it's okay, yeah, no, we're gonna work on that, we're gonna be more inclusive in our way. And I think that all us like new companies that are coming in, or us that have positions of power in existing companies, should be the ones to push forward this narrative that we are willing to change the industry and we are willing to make it comfortable and happy for everybody. I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Please, 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 especially with this video, put your thoughts down in the description on social media. Please just let me know what you think about this video, because it's something that's really passionate to me, and I would love to be a help. I would love to get involved. If there's anything that you know that sounds like I would be really interested in it, or it sounds like it's gonna really, you know, push this and make just, you know, really changing the industry, and you know people that are willing to do that, let me know. I'd love to get in touch. I'm gonna end this video here. Like this video if you like this video. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more. I know I keep saying that I'm gonna be making videos, but right now I'm only making videos if I feel like I want to. So subscribe if you're willing to wait. I've recently started a gaming channel, VSFL Games, so feel free to subscribe to that if you like Sims content, especially those that had liked my Sims content on this channel. So yeah, get clicking, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys, thanks for watching.
Oh wow, they be talking like the hella fly. Oh my, always making us some porky pies.